my name is Delilah and today we are starting a brand new writing series. So the name of my newest writing series is My Writing Journey, and it's just going to be a little flashback, a little blast to the past where I just kind of go back and look at other things that I used to write when I was younger, going back as far as I can and coming up as close to now as possible. And what I'm hoping for is that I can get to the core of why I started writing in the first place, why I love it so much, and how I can improve myself headed forward into the future. And so I'm going to start off today by answering a few questions, and then I'm going to read an excerpt, and then I'm going to answer two final questions. So I'm just going to go ahead and get started. Today we are covering the earliest period that I have evidence for. I started writing back in the second grade, and I even wrote my own published novel that my teacher published. And I have no idea where it is. I hope it's not thrown away, but if I ever find it, I'll be sure to make a video for that one. But since we don't have that, today I'm going to start way back in the third grade. So question number one is, how old was I at this point? I was in the third grade, so I was about 8 or 9, and we wrote more stories toward the end of the year, so what I'm going to be sharing with you today is more likely toward the end. So I was probably about 9 years old and 9. Question number 2 is, what were important themes in my life at the time? So I'm guessing this is, what are things that regularly came up for me in my writing at this point in time? And looking over, because I have a couple of different books that I wrote at that time, so I went ahead and I looked through them all, and something that comes up a lot in each of these stories is friendship, family, and day-to-day life. So that's something that all of my writing was about. I always made sure that I mentioned family member. I always talked about my friends and how close we were and or not close. And I always had, this happened this day, this happened this day, this happened this day. And I don't think that's uncommon for that age group. You write what you know, right? Question number 3 is, any specific highlights or obstacles that I was dealing with at this point in my life? And this is strictly speaking about experiences that were going on outside of school or within school or whatever. You know, just those things, those everyday things that would influence my writing. And I would have to say that there wasn't anything specifically, you know, challenging at that point in time. I was in the third grade, so life was pretty good at that point. You had a very regular schedule, everybody was still together. One thing I guess I could throw in there was, at that point in time, I was a bit of a monster to my younger family members, and I don't really know why, because I don't think that bullying was a problem at that point in my life. So I had pent up frustration, but I didn't know, I still don't know where that was coming from. I was frustrated about something. Maybe it was math, so maybe that influenced my writing a little bit. And I think, in fact, the excerpt that I'm going to read to you today has a little bit of it in there. Question number 4 is, what did I think about writing at the time? Well, I'm thinking about it, and I realize that time changes how we think about things. But I know for certain that in the third grade, writing wasn't really that important to me. Reading and writing were my favorite subjects just because I was good at it, but I didn't have any aspirations to become a writer at the time. I don't think. I was more focused on what's going on in that age group. Yeah, at that point, the books that I wrote were more or less writing assignments. I was not into writing. I liked it, I was good at it, but I had no particular feelings or thoughts about writing at the time. Which is funny, because the previous year in the second grade, when we did our little publications All my family, when they saw that I had this book that I had been working on for several weeks, they were like, "Oh, you're gonna be a writer when you grow up. You're gonna be a writer." And I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna be a writer. Yeah." And then come 3rd grade, and I'm not about that life. And final question about my life at that point was, what did I want to be when I grew up? And so this is actually a very easily answered question, because our little books at the time, we had to, in the back, put in about the author page. And that's really, really funny, because I want to show you this picture of me. That's what I looked like in the 3rd grade. And it's kind of dark, but I'll show a lightened picture later. But that's what I looked like in the 3rd grade. I don't think much has changed. I want to be a doctor when I grow up. So I wanted to be a doctor. I don't know why that was a thing, but apparently I wanted to be a doctor. I'm going to be reading an excerpt on each video from a piece of work at that time. I'm going to read the whole thing, so it's only a couple of pages. And this story that I wrote at the time is called "The Day Everything Went Wrong." And then that's me, I guess, and my eyeballs are sideways, and it says, "Help." One day, I woke up in a pigsty in my room. I screamed to my cousin, "You messed up my room!" So I picked it up and went downstairs for breakfast. When I started to eat my toast, I found a great big hairball in it, and I don't even have a cat. So then I got my books together and went to my bus stop. I took an hour on the school bus. When I got on the bus, a girl named Crystal told on me for nothing, and I got in trouble. We finally got to school, and when we got there, my best friend said she wasn't my friend anymore. During DIRT time, I don't remember what that stands for, but it was a real thing. I had to flip my card for talking. At lunch, my food had shrimp in it, and I'm allergic to shrimp. Side note, I'm not allergic to shrimp. When it was time to go, I missed my bus. My grandma did not pick me up, so I walked? Who knows? When I was walking, so I guess I'm walking. When I was walking, I slipped on a banana peel and broke my glasses. When I got home, I got grounded for my glasses. So I just took a nap, and I had a bad dream that a snake bit me. When I got back downstairs, I saw that my brand new, I'll show the picture real quick. That's me slipping on a banana peel, and it says, "Ah!" or "Yeah!" Anyway. When I got back downstairs, I saw that my brand new makeup set was all over the floor. I said, "Boy, am I in a lot of trouble." I got the vacuum cleaner, and when to vacuum my bracelet got sucked up. Then I yelled, "Man!" My cousin came over and hit me. I said, "What did you do that for?" He said, "Because I wanted to." I tried to hit him, but he told on me, and I got in trouble again. The next day, when it was time for school, I got in trouble for staying up all night. I had to go to school anyway. I kept falling asleep in history class. All the rest of the day, I fell asleep. The next day, when I woke up, I saw a big sign that said, "Happy birthday. Since it was such a bad day, we're giving you another chance," said my best friend. So that day, I set aside all of my bad, it says all twice, all of my bad stuff, and had a great day. Exclamation point, smiley face. The end. That was so cute. And now for the final questions. The next question says, what did I like about my writing then? There's a lot to go off of here, I guess. I liked that I was unafraid. I was very honest and very unafraid in my writing at this point in time. I wasn't afraid to use any kind of anecdote from my real natural life. So I was naming names and calling people out and using real experiences, and I was not afraid of what those people would have to say if they read it. That's for true. And another thing was I wasn't afraid to use my imagination. You know, every now and then I'll get an idea and I'll think, no, that's not good enough. Nobody's going to care about that. Or I'll think, that's just way too out there. But I was not afraid to just use whatever I had up in my brain and talk about it. Something that I would love to reharness in my own writing. It's just so honest. Final question is, what improvements could I make at that point in time? You know, you gotta give me the benefit of the doubt, 3rd grade, so obviously there's a lot of spelling and grammatical errors in here, like spelling broke B-R-O-K instead of B-R-O-K-E, repeating words, leaving words out completely. My grandma did not pick me up, so I home. Things like that. Actually, that is something I still do on a very regular basis. I will just leave a word out completely. So, interesting. Something else that I could work on at the time. I think I could have worked a little bit on my dialogue. Needed some work. It was very one-sided. A lot of mans and darn it's and things like that. So I think that I could have worked on, and thankfully I did. My dialogue I'd say it's pretty good these days. And finally, I think I would say something that I could have improved on here is description to narration ratio. Definitely. There's a lot of narration, and it's then I did this, then I did this, then I did this, then I did this, and I did this, and this happened, and then this happened. Funny enough, that happens still today. I have to go back and think, whoa, can I break that up with some kind of description so that people know where we are and why we're there. So yeah, definitely I could have worked on that. I could have worked on, you know, using my senses. At that point in time, I'm not sure if I really knew what all of my senses were, but you know, that's just something that experience would bring. So that's it for my writing journey today. I hope that was interesting to you in some kind of way. If you have any questions or comments about this little project, go ahead and leave a comment below. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you're interested. You don't have to. Just something nice if you want. Thank you for watching. I hope that you're having a great day, and I will see you next time.